A Roman soldier staggers from the battlefield, blood running from a gash on his arm. His comrades do not reach for linen or ointment. They reach for spiderwebs. Carefully, they press the delicate silk over the wound, layering the sticky threads until the bleeding slows. To ancient Greeks and Romans, spiderwebs were more than nuisances in dark corners. They were medicine. Applied directly to cuts and injuries, webs acted as natural bandages, an early form of wound dressing that combined practicality with surprising effectiveness. The practice of using spiderwebs to stop bleeding is documented in both Greek and Roman medical traditions. Physicians such as Galen noted their use as a way to staunch blood and protect wounds. Clean webs, harvested fresh, were applied to injuries where they adhered lightly, sealing the wound and promoting clotting. Sometimes webs were mixed with honey or vinegar, both believed to carry antiseptic properties to create primitive yet clever poultices. The logic was rooted in observation. Spider silk is incredibly strong, lightweight, and absorbent. It adheres gently to skin and conforms to the shape of wounds. Most importantly, it contains traces of vitamin K, a compound essential to the body's clotting process. While ancient healers did not know the chemistry, they recognized the effect. Wounds dressed with spiderwebs often bled less and healed more cleanly than those left exposed. This made webs valuable not only in households, but also on battlefields. Soldiers, farmers, and hunters could gather webs in moments, applying them as makeshift bandages in emergencies. In a world without sterile gauze or adhesive strips, spider silk offered a readily available and surprisingly sophisticated alternative. The use of spiderwebs persisted well beyond antiquity. In parts of medieval Europe, spider silk remained a folk remedy for cuts and nosebleeds. Even into the 19th century, rural healers in some regions of Eastern Europe recommended packing wounds with webs to promote healing. The tradition lingered because it often worked not perfectly, but well enough to be remembered. Modern science has revisited the properties of spider silk with fascination. Beyond its mechanical strength, silk is biocompatible, non-toxic, and resistant to many forms of bacteria. Researchers have investigated its potential in surgical sutures, tissue scaffolds, and drug delivery systems. What began as ancient battlefield improvisation has inspired cutting-edge biomedical research. Of course, the ancient use was not without risks. Dirty or contaminated webs could introduce infections rather than prevent them. The practice depended on harvesting clean, fresh webs, not those filled with insects or dust. Still, the fact that the remedy endured for centuries speaks to its perceived reliability. The story of spiderweb bandages reveals much about the ingenuity of early medicine. Without microscopes, germ theory, or synthetic materials, ancient healers looked to the natural world for solutions. They observed, experimented, and passed down remedies that combined practicality with symbolism. To them, spiderwebs were not creepy nuisances, but delicate tools of healing. Today, when we unwrap a sterile band-aid, we are using the modern descendant of a practice that stretches back thousands of years. The humble spider, spinning silk in a dark corner, once provided humanity with one of its earliest bandages. It is a reminder that innovation often begins not in laboratories, but in the careful observation of nature.